Hello. So what we are going to do today is that we are going to do the word problems of linear equations. So there are a lot of types of word problems which are there, which are possible for the linear equations in two variables. So we are going to see them one by one, right? So the first type is the equation or the word problem is based upon the cost and interest. Okay. So let's see the questions and then you can understand how to solve these questions. Okay. So the first question that you see on the screen is Susan invested certain amount of money in two schemes A and B. So let's say that in scheme A and scheme B that Susan has invested, so which offers an interest at rate of 8%. So A gives interest at 8% and B gives at 9% because it says per annum respectively. So this is PA per annum, right? So she received 1860 rupees as annual interest. So the overall interest is rupees 1860. So let's say that in A, Suzanne has invested X, and in B, Suzanne has invested Y. So the total interest that Suzanne received was 1860. Now coming to the second part of the question. However, had she interchanged the amount of investment, she would have received 20 rupees more, 20 rupees more as annual interest. So how much money did she invest in each scheme? So this is scenario one, right? Scenario two, let me write it down here. So in scenario two, again, we have two schemes A and B. Rate of interest is same for both of them, but the amount is interchanged now. Okay. So, and sorry, let me write the interest as well. SI is 1860 plus 20 rupees more, right? So it becomes 1880. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to write the equations here based upon this and we are going to solve it. Okay. So for the first scenario, let's write down the equation. So this is interest, right? We are just going to calculate the interest on these amounts. So interest on this amount will be x into 8 upon 100 plus y into 9 upon 100 equals to 1860, right? So it becomes 8x plus 9y equals to 1860, and both of them have 100 in denominator. So I'm going to take it to the right hand side. Since it was dividing this, it will become multiplication. It will become like this. So 186,000. Hope this part is clear. I have just done a small change that I have 100 that was in denominator. It has been moved to numerator on the right hand side. Okay. So this is one equation that we have got. So let me write it down. It's like equation one. Now look at the second scenario. So what we have is y into 8% plus x into 9% because the amounts are interchanged now, and the interest is 1880. So that means let me just write it down like this: 9x plus 8y equals to 1880, and then two zeros more because I have removed the 100 from denominator and I moved it to the right hand side. So it's in numerator now. It becomes 188,000. Now this becomes the second equation for us. So there are different ways to solve it. What we are going to do, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use first and second equation both, and I'm going to subtract second equation from, or let's say I'm going to subtract first equation from second equation. Okay. So because I want x to be positive, that's how I like to solve it. Okay. So when I subtract 8x from 9x, it becomes x. And I subtract 9y from 8y, it becomes minus y. And again, 186,000 subtracted from 188,000, it becomes 2,000. So this is one equation that we have got now. Equation number 3. Also, what we can do is we can add both of them. 1 plus 2. So it becomes 9 plus 8, 17x plus 9 plus 8, 17y again, because I'm adding 9 plus 8, 17, and then again 8, 9 plus again 8, that's 17. So it becomes 17x plus 17y, and thousands we have in common, and then becomes 8 plus 6 is 14. 8 plus 8, 16 plus 7, 17. 1, 2, 3. So this is what we have got now. And if I'm not wrong, I'll be able to divide this part or this constant part with 17. So it becomes x plus y equals to 17 to the 34, again 17 to the 34, and thousands is common. So this is fourth equation that we have got now. Okay. So I hope till now this is clear what we have done. So using first and second equation, I have subtracted first from second, and then I have added both of them. So I have got x plus y and x minus 5. So let's add them. Let's add 3 plus 4 now. So it becomes x minus 5 and x plus 5 when you add both of them. It becomes 2x because y gets cancelled. And it becomes 22,000 plus 2,000, that is 24,000. And therefore x becomes 12,000. So x is the 12,000 rupees, which we have found out now. Since x minus y is 2,000, therefore, if I put x in third equation, I get y as 10,000. So this is how we can find out the values of x and y using the different equations or different scenarios that are given in the question. So based upon the scenarios, I have created different equations which are 1 and 2, like this one and this one, and then I have tried to solve them together, and I've got the values of x and y. So hope this is clear. I'll go to next question. Okay. So here if you see, the question is smaller. Let's see how to do it. So this question is based upon the numbers. Okay, these type of questions are based upon numbers, these word problems. So if you see the question, half of the difference of two numbers is 2. The sum of the greater number and twice the smaller number is 13. So let's say smaller number is x and greater number is y. Okay, so I'll take scenario 1, which is like till here, right? So half of the differences of two numbers is 2. So scenario 1 is y minus x by 2 is 2, right? Half of the difference. The difference is y minus x upon 2 is 2. So let me just write it down clearly what we are trying to say. Y minus x, I'll take this 2 to the right hand side. It becomes into multiply. So 2 into 2 is 4. Or let me just bring all of these on the right hand side because I like x to be positive. So x minus y. So this x is also taken to the right hand side, becomes minus 2 plus x, and plus y becomes minus y plus 4 equals to 0. Okay. Now, what is the second scenario? Let's see the second scenario. The second scenario is the sum of the greater number. Sum of the greater number. Greater number is y plus twice the smaller number. So the smaller number is x becomes 13. Okay. So it becomes 2x plus y minus 13 equals to 0. Now, if you see here, I have x minus y and I have x plus y. So I'll say this is equation 1. This is equation 2. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add both of them because I see minus y in the first equation and plus y in the second equation. If I add both of them, y will get cancelled. I'll have I'll have the equation only in x. So 1 plus 2 becomes x plus 2x becomes 3x minus y and plus 5 becomes 0 and plus 4 minus 13 becomes minus 9 equals to 0. So x becomes, if I'll take this 9 to the right hand side, 3x equals to 9 and x equals to 9 by 3, which means 3. So we have found the value of x, right? So I can put now this x value as 3. Let me write it down clearly. So I can put this down, put this value of x in any of the equation, first or second, I'll get the value of y. Now let me put it in the first equation itself. So it becomes, so here wherever possible, you have to write the sentences what you are doing, putting x equals to 3 in first. So it becomes 3 minus y plus 4 equals to 0. 3 plus 4 becomes 7. 7 minus 5 equals to 0. And therefore, if I take y to the right hand side, it becomes y equals to 7. So we have found both x and y here. Hope it is clear. We had two scenarios. We had to play with two numbers. One of them is a greater number, one of them is smaller number. That's how it is given in the question here. But there might be a scenario that you don't have to take smaller and greater. You don't have to consider which one is smaller, which one is greater, and you can directly solve the question. Okay. So in this scenario, we had to take a smaller and greater number. So I considered x as smaller and y is greater and solve the two using the two scenarios. We solve the question. So I hope this is also clear. We'll move to next question. Okay, so this question is also based upon numbers only. Let's see how to do it. Okay, so a two-digit number is such that the product of its digits is 20. So earlier, if you remember, we had two different numbers. Now we have a single number but with two digits. Okay, the number is such that the product of its digit is 20. So this is one thing. So see, we have to make this question in such a way that we use two variables, right? Because we know that we are learning, that's what we are learning. And since we are talking about two digits, I don't know how to solve it, right? Otherwise, if I don't take two numbers, I don't know how to get two different digits here. So I'll say digit at ones place is y and digit at tens place is x. So the number becomes 10 into x plus 1, right? So this is our number. Okay. So it says, the first equation says, first scenario says, a two-digit number is such that the product of its digit is 20. So x into y is 20. Okay. So this becomes equation 1 for us. Now let's see what is the scenario 2. If 9 is added to the number, the digits interchange their place. Oh, that's very interesting, right? So we have 10x plus y as a number. And if we add 9 to it, the digits interchange. If they interchange, what is the meaning of that? The tens place digit becomes ones digit and ones digit becomes tens place digit. So it should be like this then, right? Now, if you see, the digit at tens place was y, it has becomes tens place. So it was ones place at before, now it has becomes a tens place. Okay, let's solve it. Let's make it a bit more clear, this equation. So 10x, if I bring this x to the left hand side, becomes minus. So let me write it down. 10x plus y plus 9 minus 10y minus x equals to 0. 10x minus x becomes 9x plus y minus 10y becomes minus 9y plus 9 equals to 0, right? And again, I'll remove 9. I'll take 9 common from here and divide the whole thing with 9. Okay, it becomes x minus y plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, or I can say y equals to x plus 1. Okay, because I've taken this y to the right hand side, therefore y equals to x plus 1. Now the other thing that we had, so this is becomes equation 2 for us. So if you see, I can easily use substitution method here. So I'm going to put second in first. So above we in the first equation we had x into y is 20. So instead of y I'll put x plus 1. So it becomes x into x plus 1 becomes 20. So it becomes x square plus x, and I'll bring 20 to the left hand side. It becomes minus 20 because we are changing the side of 20 from right hand side to left hand side now. Now I have to factor this equation in such a way that I get two factors of 20 and I get answer as plus x. So 5 4 is 20, right? So x square plus 5x minus 4x minus 20. So I hope this point is clear how we are doing it. So we have to find the value of x, but we have an equation now which is quadratic. We have an equation where x is in power of 2. Now to factor this equation to get the values of x, I'll have to factor the whole equation in such a way that 1 into 20 is 20, and 20 has to be divided into two parts. Let's say 5 and 4, because 5 fours is 20. So two factors have been found out for 20, and such that we get the answer as plus 1x, right? So that's what I have done here. I hope this is clear, right? And if it is not clear, if you want any more clarity, or if there are any other questions that you want me to solve, please put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Okay. So I've taken x common from here, and I've taken minus 4 common from here. It will again become x plus 5 only. So x minus 4 and x plus 5. X plus 5 is taken common, right? So the remaining thing is x minus 4 equals to 0. So x is either 4 or x is minus 5. So we know that it's a two-digit number, and it can't be minus 5. Um, it can be, okay. Let's see. So y becomes 4, y is x plus 1, right? From equation 2. So y becomes 5. And here y becomes minus 5 plus 1, that becomes 4. Minus 4, right? So the number becomes, let me write it here. Number is, it is 10x plus y. So 10 into 4, 40. 40 plus 5 is 10 into 4 plus 5. That becomes 45. Number is 45. Or we can say, so this is first. Second is, if I use these terms, again, a number is 10 into minus 5 plus minus 4. So it becomes minus 54. So we don't, I mean, generally we talk about the numbers which are not integers, which are whole numbers. So from that scenario, this answer is sufficient for us. But I mean, you can also write minus 54 as well. There is no problem in that. So either this or that, right? And you want to check, you can check here. The sum of the product is, sorry, the product of these digits is 20. 4 5 is 20, 5 4 is 20. And if we add 9, the digits should get interchanged. So if I add 9 to 45, 45 plus 9 is 54. So the digits get interchanged. Similarly here, if I add 9 in minus 54, it becomes minus 45. Digits are still interchanging. So both of them can solve this given scenarios. So I hope it's clear. We have found the numbers. Okay. So let's go ahead to the next scenario. We'll take one more question here. Okay. So the third type here is that we are going to see is based on fractions. So we are going to create equations in two variables, which is based upon the fractions, and then we'll solve it. So let's see. A fraction becomes 1 by 3 when 2 is subtracted from the numerator of fraction. Okay. So we don't know what the fraction is. When we talk about fraction, we know it is something upon something. So we don't know what is numerator, what is denominator for this question. So let's say numerator is x and denominator is y. So therefore fraction is x upon y, right? So this is how we are going to start it. Now it is saying when 2 subtracted from the numerator of the fraction. So we have x upon y, but 2 subtracted from it, and then the fraction becomes 1 by 3. So I hope this is clear. I hope, so x minus 2 is upon y is 1 upon 3. So you can say this, when you are subtracting 2 from x, it is becoming 1. So you can say x is 3 only then in that case, right? But it's not, I mean, it can be that also, but there is a possibility that the answer, when I subtract 2 from x, it is becoming a multiple of 1 upon 3. So it is showing 1 upon 3, but it can be like 4 upon 12. It's also 1 upon 3, right? 4 upon the 4, 4 to the 4 is a 12. So it can become 4 upon 12 as well, which is upon 3 again. So we don't know what it is actually resulting in, but the simplified form is 1 upon 3. Understood? So I'll leave it as, I mean, I'll take whatever is being said in the question for now. We'll try to solve it, and then we'll see what has become in the answer again. So it becomes, so I'll cross multiply it. It becomes 3x minus 6 equals to y, or 3x minus y minus 6 equals to 0. So this becomes equation 1 for us, right? Let's see what is the, so this was scenario 1. let's see what is the second scenario. So, and it becomes 1 by 2 when 1 subtracted from denominator. So, we have x upon y, but it says 1 is subtracted from denominator. So, I subtract 1, it becomes 1 upon 2, right? Now, if you would have taken 3 upon 3 here, then it would have become 3 upon 2 in this scenario, which is not correct. So, I mean, it's the base previous logic that we were talking about, right? That x minus 2 is 1, that means x is 3, right? And y is, there is no change, so y becomes 3, so it becomes 3 upon 3. But if I subtract 1 from denominator, it becomes 3 upon 2 now, which is wrong because we have 1 upon 2 as the answer. So this doesn't work, okay? So you have to write the equations, write the scenarios in this type of equation, and then you have to solve it. So again, I'm going to cross multiply here. It becomes 2x equals to y minus 1, or 2x minus y plus 1 equals to 0. So if you see, this is equation number 2 for me now. Now, if you see, both of them has minus y. So whenever you are trying to solve the equations, try to equate the coefficients. I find that way very easy. Okay. Now, if you see in this scenario, both of them has minus y in the equation. If I subtract, let's say second from first, so I'm saying I'm going to subtract second from first, y gets removed, right? And then it becomes 3x minus 2x. 3x minus 2x is x only. Let me just write down what I mean. Minus 6 minus of 2x minus y plus 1 equals to 0. And let me open the brackets as well for you. 3x minus y minus 6 minus 2x plus y minus 1 equals to 0. So if you see, we have minus y and we have plus y. So this gets cancelled. 3x and minus 2x becomes x. Minus 6 minus 1 becomes minus 7 equals to 0. So that means x becomes 7. Now I can put x equals to 7 in any of these scenario and I'll get the answer. So let me put it in second. Okay. So putting, please write down these statements wherever you can so that it becomes clear for the teacher who is checking that what you have done. Putting x equals to 7 in second. So it becomes 2 into 7 minus y plus 1 equals to 0. So it becomes 2 times the 14, 14 plus 1 is 15, and 15 minus y equals to 0, and therefore y equals to 15. So therefore, the fraction is x upon y, that means 7 upon 15. So you have find out the answer, but you can also check whether it's correct or not. How? Based upon the scenarios that is given to you. So you subtract 2 from the numerator and the fraction becomes 1 by 3. So I'll subtract 2 from 7 is 5. 5 upon 15 is 1 upon 3, right? 5 upon 15. 5 on the 5, 5 is 15. So it becomes 1 upon 3. So scenario 1 is satisfied. The scenario second is it becomes 1 by 2 and when 1 is subtracted from the denominator. So when 1 is subtracted from denominator, it becomes 7 upon 14. 7 is 7, 7 to the 14. Again 1 upon 2. So this seems correct in both the scenarios. So we can say the answer is 7 upon 15. We have found out the fraction. I hope it's clear. So there are a couple more questions and a couple more scenarios which we have to go through for the linear equations that we'll do in the next part of the video. Thank you. This is enough for today. Thank you. Bye.